This transportation TV program is made possible in part by the Associated General Contractors of America, AGC, quality people, quality projects. This is the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting. The Senate voted 92-6 September 15th to extend funding for federal surface transportation and aviation programs. The final vote followed Senate consideration of two amendments offered by Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul.
What I'm asking today through this amendment to the highway bill is that we keep the trust funds separate and that the trust funds spend only money that comes in the gas tax.
Senator Paul has offered an amendment that technically really doesn't do anything, but it is in his intent, as he said, to cut the funding by 1/3. That means if that amendment were to pass and if his intent was carried out, we would lose 608,000 jobs.
Paul's amendments to alter the extension legislation failed. Federal highway and transit programs will continue to be funded at current levels until March 31st, and federal aviation programs will continue unchanged until January 31st. The American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials Executive Director, John Horsley, issued a statement Thursday evening commending Congress for approving the bill. Horsley said the 6-month extension of federal highway and transit programs approved by Congress today ensures the continuation of thousands of job-creating infrastructure projects in every state. We congratulate the House and Senate leadership on both sides of the aisle for their tireless hard work to bring about this positive result. AASHTO is prepared to work with Congress and the administration over the next 6 months to pass a robust, multi-year surface transportation reauthorization bill. In other news this week, President Barack Obama continued to push for his $447 billion jobs proposal, speaking Wednesday, September 14th, to an enthusiastic crowd in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was his second campaign-style event in 2 days. Obama touted the planned Social Security payroll tax cuts that he said would benefit small businesses and spur employment, and he also talked about transportation.
Pass this bill, and right here in North Carolina, about 19,000 construction workers will have a job again. This is a common sense idea. Governor Perdue can tell you there are a lot of roads and a lot of bridges that need fixing.
The president's plan calls for an immediate $50 billion investment in transportation infrastructure, $27 billion to improve highway safety and efficiency, $10 billion for innovative ways of financing and investing in infrastructure, including high-speed rail, next-generation air traffic control equipment, and the popular Tiger and TIFIA programs. The remaining $13 billion in infrastructure investments would pay for transit, intercity passenger rail, and airport improvements. The jobs bill also sets aside an additional $10 billion to create a national infrastructure bank. A Gallup poll released Wednesday found that more Americans wanted their congressman to vote for Obama's plan than against it by a 45 to 32% margin. Also this week, the National Transportation Safety Board recommended that drivers of commercial vehicles be banned from using cell phones, except in emergencies, after citing cell phone usage as the cause of a March 2010 Kentucky accident that killed 11 people. Investigators determined that the truck driver made 4 calls in the minutes leading up to the fatal crash. And while the final tally is still months away, in Vermont this week, Transportation Secretary Brian Searles told lawmakers the cost of making both temporary and long-term repairs to his state's battered and previously flooded roads and bridges will cost between $300 and $500 million. Searles says at least 110 town roads and nearly 80 bridges remain closed as of Wednesday, and 1,200 municipal roads were in need of repair. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. The department says it has about 8 weeks left in this year's construction season. An estimated 4,000 workers from the Vermont Agency of Transportation, along with volunteers from Maine and New Hampshire Departments of Transportation and National Guard from 5 different states are in Vermont racing to clear and repair roadways and build temporary structures to improve access before winter. State officials say many roadways have reopened, and they encourage tourists to visit the state during this year's peak fall foliage season. To receive the latest road conditions and to find out how you can help disaster victims, go to www.vermont.gov. Transportation TV will be reporting on other state DOTs impacted by Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee in the coming weeks. That's the Transportation TV News Update. Thanks for watching. This Transportation TV program is made possible in part by the Associated General Contractors of America, AGC, Quality People, Quality Projects.